Ironically angry, or just angry. Yeah, I don't even have it. I'm just down. I'm just beaten down by this Denver Nuggets team. What the heck? What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Losers Lounge. Whoa. Presented by Bet365. We hit bets tonight, then?
No.
Man, everything's out of sync, man.
We're so out of sync.
We're so out of sync.
bad.
What's going on? Is Mercury retrograde again?
I heard it might be.
It might be. We're in the Toyota Losers Lounge, driven by your Front Range Toyota stores. Toyota, the official vehicle of DNVR. Nuggets lost, and it was the same script again. You guys remember the script?
I hate this script.
This is Fast and Furious 7 right now that we're on, where it went the exact same way. Nuggets fall behind, they claw back, take control, and then blow it in the clutch. Not just a little bit, but a lot of it. And everything that has been bad was as bad as can be, except for Jokic. He was incredible. Wasn't Jokic tonight. We have a lot of breakdown. Most of it's kind of bad, unfortunately, but real ones. You're here with us to lick our wounds together, to suffer together. Brennan Vogt.
Yeah, emphasis on suffering, though, for sure. This is brutal.
It's real suffering.
This is brutal. This one's just bad. And we'll try to find that balance of keeping it real without bumming everyone out for an hour. But this is a bad one. And I assume our takes will be, negative accordingly.
You know what? You can't win a ring without some suffering, though. That's what they say.
Oh, yeah.
Over here, Harrison Wind.
Well, you also can't win a ring without winning the fourth quarter or clutch time. You're going to have to do that a couple times to get there. This trend of this season, man, blowing these games in the clutch it's been awful. It's been the worst. I can't stand it. Just can't stand it.
There's like certain qualities your team can have that just hurt more than others. And chokers, that's like not a great one, man. Can't get it done in the clutch.
Oh, you're just not clutch? Oh.
Yeah, all right. Rounding out the show, Superstar Dev.
Before this game, I said that I felt very good about this specific matinee. Mistakes were made.
Bro, maybe the worst loss of the season. I mean, I don't remember. We'll have to go back and look. They've had some heartbreakers, some close ones. Ball didn't bounce their way. This one was a haymaker in the clutch. It was tied. It was tied with 6 minutes to go. It wasn't like it was uneven. They had to claw back. It was tied, and they end up getting blown out really in the final handful of minutes here with a haymaker. Let's relive this one together, why don't we? Fast breakdown. We kind of have to.
Oh, okay.
Started Warriors 11-2 start. They were 3 of 3 from the 3-point line, and you knew immediately. Actually, the real story starts. And I'm very curious to hear if this becomes any of a storyline. Draymond Green not on the injury report, right? We did the whole pregame show. He was not on the injury report.
He was not on the injury report all day.
Well, he was questionable.
No,
he was probable?
No,
he wasn't even listed.
No.
And then 12 minutes before tip, he's listed as just out. And it is a big deal because they play a different style with Draymond Green. You game plan for how you're going to cover their shooters with one guy that's not a shooter, but instead it's Al Horford. And you could tell Denver was solely unprepared for it, which is its own shame. I mean, it's not like you don't know how to guard 5-out offense, but they started on fire in this game. Jokic had 6 very quick assists. He had it in like 3.5 minutes. Christian Braun had 10 quick points. Those things go together. They had a great connection in the first quarter. I thought they were getting very physical with Jokic. There were no calls. Post was beating the hell out of him early on. And the Nuggets fall down 11 points. They go into the break 39-27 Warriors. Second quarter started with the Nuggets not being able to get a stop. You check Jamal Murray in, so no Murray stagger. You buy a couple minutes. Check Murray in, and I thought he did a great job of settling things down. He came in and had a quick 8 points, had some tough buckets, and it was like they needed somebody to settle things down. It was him. Second quarter felt exactly like the first, though. The ball was popping for the Warriors. They passed really well today, man. Knew how to attack Denver's scheme. Pick and roll, draw the double, kick it out, swing the ball, find the open guy, and they passed extremely well. It was 76-67 Warriors at the half. Third quarter, though, the Nuggets made an adjustment. where Jokic is in the pick and roll and there's constantly guarding Horford, and they would swing the ball, and then Denver would have to like catch up to the swing. They started basically overloading the strong side, bringing that guy over and daring them to skip the ball, which would leave Jokic having to cover a lot of ground and then match up in a mismatch. Denver didn't care. They weren't going one-on-one. So that third quarter, Denver threw a haymaker. They cut it to 4 immediately, then got into the bonus with 8 minutes to go, tied it with 7 minutes to go. There was an insane technical foul on Jamal Murray. Do you guys remember this? That play?
Yeah.
It was a weird play from Jamal because they had played defense all the way up until 10 seconds on the clock. We're in great position to get a stop, and Murray made a frustration foul, but I didn't think it was a tech worthy, but he got a tech.
What he said.
But to close that third quarter, Jokic just went best player in the world mode, completely dominated the end of the third quarter. 32 points, 19 rebounds, 11 assists just in the third quarter. At the end of the third quarter. And the Warriors were cold from three. The new scheme had thrown them off. They were missing it. Denver's up 101-95. Let's go to the fourth quarter. Warriors tie it right away. I thought that was a really rough plays from the big fella, Big Val. But Brucey B made some really big plays to get Denver back and to tie the game. Nuggets called a timeout with 6 minutes to go, and it's a tie game. They actually put Jokic and Murray to the scores table. 2 minutes went by without a whistle, though. And so it kind of hurt that those guys got in late. Tie game, they check in 6 minutes. But what happens? Podziemski goes absolutely crazy. Hits a three-pointer, then hits a floater that was just insane. Went all the way up to the rafters, kind of a prayer. Gave him a 4-point lead. Christian Braun had a horrible turnover, just a lazy pass up top when they were down 5 as clutch time began. And it was a haymaker from the Warriors who just got steals, got stops. Jamal Murray had multiple turnovers in the clutch. Denver did not have anything going on offense. There was no rhythm to anything, and it was just fast breaks for the Warriors over and over again. Stop, steal, fast break the other way. And Denver goes from tied with 6 minutes to losing. How much did they lose by, Kale? From tie game to down 11, and it wasn't like this was free throws. Sometimes you lose by that because it's free throws. No, this was just them getting stops every time on Denver, getting out, and Denver looking horrible in the clutch. The last 6 minutes of this game were probably the worst 6 minutes of any game this year for the Denver Nuggets.
I think so.
And they lose to a team that was missing all of their best players. All right, let's go to our Red Hawk Roofing big takeaway. Dev, what do you got?
My Red Hawk Roofing big takeaway in this one is, that was a very, very embarrassing loss, but really my takeaway is that's a hat tip to that Warriors team that they had over there. They played hard the entire time. It's not about how you start, which they started with knocking down every single three-pointer that they took, but they played hard the entire time. And also, you talk about clutch. They closed. They went on an incredible run to finish this game, and that was a team that was missing everybody. You talk about the Nuggets missing P-Watt, the Nuggets missing, Aaron Gordon, how much they needed them. They didn't have a single starter that played in that game, and they still showed that they were there. They won the game. You got to have some fight, and they had fight the entire time. I hope that the Nuggets start playing with that type of fight because this cool stuff is getting them loss after loss. My Red Hawk big takeaway is hat tip to the Warriors.
Sure. Hat tip to the Warriors. Good job. 42 assists tonight. They shot the three ball well. They were short-handed, but they played like a team that was very connected, man. 42 assists is tough to get. Got to make a lot of shots to do it.
My Red Hawk Roofing big takeaway, and I'll start talking about the collapse in the clutch today, because it's happened so many times now where now it's a little mental, I think.
Maybe.
Now I feel like it might be in the Nuggets' heads. We're not a good clutch team. And when it starts happening, when you have a lead late in the fourth and you start blowing it, I really wonder if now they think to themselves, here we go again. And that's a really scary spot to be in. I remember after the Clippers game, and when a similar thing happened a few days ago, I talked about how this team didn't look sharp. And again, in the fourth quarter, they just did not look sharp. They looked lackadaisical. They looked like they were going through the motions. When the Warriors ramped up the energy and really locked in the last 5-6 minutes of this game, the Nuggets just kind of they barely reacted.
Yeah.
And they were just not ready for it. They were not ready for the elevation and just energy and focus that Golden State had. And it is really bizarre, man. It is just really bizarre to see a team like Denver, as veteran as they are, with a go-to action like the Murray Jokic pick and roll in those moments, just looks so uncomfortable, so scared of the moment. It's jarring, and it's honestly really concerning. At this point in the season, it's beyond just, I think we can trust them. It's very concerning now. We're at this point in the year, and again, we're still seeing this. I know they have a lot of guys out. I know Aaron Gordon's out, who plays a big role on both ends of the court in the clutch. You got Jamal Murray, Nikola Jokic, Cam Johnson, Bruce Brown. You got enough guys out there to where this should not happen like this. So they've got to figure out what's going on. They've got to put in the work to get it resolved, because if this hangs around into the playoffs, I don't know how you can have any confidence in them in close games.
There's no way. I mean, honestly, if you don't turn the clutch thing around, there's no way you can have confidence in this team. That was the second easiest game on the schedule in the next month. They play at Utah March 2nd. That's the second night of a back-to-back at Utah, so could even end up being tough. Second easiest game for a month, and they just dropped it in embarrassing fashion. Scary, man. What do you got?
Yeah, my Red Hawk Roofing big takeaway. I mean, it's the same one that I had on Thursday night. It's the same one that Wynn just said. It's the clutch, but I'll frame it as they just don't have any identity in the clutch. And that's the thing. You don't even really feel like you get a sense of what they would like to do, what they're trying to do. There are reasons for this. I mean, I think at this point, you got to put some of this on the staff as well.
For sure.
I mean, they're just not organized at all offensively in the clutch. And defense is the bigger problem, but to me, offense as well. Like, what's the identity? What are they trying to get to? What are they able to do if teams take away the pick and roll? And we don't know the answers to those questions. I mean, Yoke's first shot in the clutch tonight was a 3. That just felt like, really, this is the best look that they can get.
Coming out of the timeout, they drew up a play for Jokic 3. It's 6 minutes to go, and it's a tie game.
So that, and then the turnovers, the spacing's completely different with Christian instead of KCP, as we've talked about. And Mike as well, who was an elite floor spacer. It would have been nice for Cam to step up. Could have been a nice Cam moment tonight. He didn't. Still kind of waiting on that. So, and yeah, look, no Aaron Gordon. Like, there are factors for why it's as bad as it is, but it's so far beneath the threshold of I think what you can call acceptable on February 22nd for a team that has big aspirations. If everything else about this team was the same, but they were really good in the clutch, I think you could put a really strong argument together about where this is all heading. Yeah. But without that, you just kind of have this concern of what's it supposed to look like? What do they even want it to look like? What's that identity in the clutch?
My Red Hawk Roofing big takeaway, I might go a little spicier, and I'll preface it by this just so I don't sound like a total doomer. I still have a ton of confidence. I see a lot of people say I have no confidence in this team. I still have a ton of confidence because there's enough time for this team to turn it around, and I still think they will. It's been a weird year with the injuries that I still think it just takes falling into place, and then you go on a run. And I think that is coming at some point in the near future. But my Red Hawk Roofing big takeaway is that David Adelman has a lot of there's a lot of questions around him at this moment. I don't think he's handled the last month of the season well at all. And they came out tonight. Yes, Draymond Green was this late scratch. They were so unprepared for how to guard them tonight. Like, Warriors played great tonight, Dev. But they also played exactly how they came into the game, knowing they were going to play. Like, we're do this, they're going to double us, we're going to swing the ball, and we're going to find open guys. And an entire half went by before Denver made an adjustment. Now, halftime is when you make adjustments, but you can make an adjustment quicker. You can say, hey, they have a record number of threes, 15 threes made in the first half, 25 assists. They're doing the same thing over and over and over again, and for an entire half, Denver had no answers for it. That's being unprepared and unable to adjust quickly in the moment. And then when you go to the fourth quarter, to Wynn's point, I thought there's some guys that really let him down today. I thought Jamal Murray had a horrible fourth quarter, just some lazy plays. Christian Braun with a lazy pass when it was like, hey, it's winning time. You can't one arm just kind of sling the ball. It led to a fast break layup, which is a killer in the clutch. Players individually did their own thing. But what are the Nuggets in the clutch? The fact that we're this deep into it, and it feels more predictable. Aaron Gordon's out. I think it's a huge reason that the Nuggets it's tougher in the clutch than typical. But you still have to work with what you have, build towards what you have. And right now it feels like 3 guys get out of the way. Murray Jokic run the pick and roll. Well, Golden State says we know that's what they're going to do, so we're going to trap Jamal. And there's no outlet. There's no release valve. There's nothing there.
Running to get the ball. Nobody wants the ball.
I think it's because it's just like, oh, we'll just run that. Everybody get out the way. Just flatten out. Clearly, it's not working.
Yeah.
And if you look at between the previous administration with Michael Malone, they just were always clutch. They were always good. They always had answers. And right now, the Nuggets are horrible in it. And with more talent than they've had in previous seasons. I think David Adelman, unfortunately, I hate to say it, but I think it's enough of a sample size right now to say, eyes are on him. This is on him as much as it is any one individual. It's on him right now to figure out what his team needs at this point in the season.
It definitely has to be on the coach, especially when it comes to like the clutch factor. Like you have to coach them through that. In this game, one team had a game plan and they executed that game plan, but it was new. It was fresh. You had to adjust to what they were doing. Denver's, you talk about that 2-man game, it does, not to say stale, but it seems like people now know how to guard that, or they know what to expect in this one. And late in the clutch, Jamal, like, he was part of the 2-man game, but not part of the 2-man game, was not shooting the ball. It was like, let's force the ball to Jokic the entire time, and the Warriors understood what that was. And even with clutch, there's also the defensive factor, that comes into it. And defensively, Denver has they've been bad, like very, very bad. 7 of 9 Warriors players were in double digits this game. A lot of those guys are not supposed to even be shooting the ball. This should have been a game that you took care of business, and they're not taking care of business, but who's going to call them out for that? They're playing bad defense. They bring over Jared Dudley, who's supposed to be this defensive guy that is, willing to call guys out. When does that show up? When does that happen? There has not been any changes or adjustments, and that's the biggest reason why you have to question David Adelman. At some point, he has to put his foot down.
One of the things about David Adelman is he's a strategist. He's a thinker. You can tell he lives in his head, and he's got notebooks, and he's got plays. And I think it's an important part of basketball, but you have to be a lot of different things as a head coach. And one thing I feel like from the Nuggets in that fourth quarter was I didn't think they had a great plan of attack. But equally as importantly, they didn't have an intensity to it. It was almost like, all right, we know we're going to do this play and this and this and that. And it's like sometimes clutch is about get into guys, play hard, go to the ball. CB's throwing a one-handed little pass like this. Jamal Murray's getting trapped and rolling the ball through. It's like sometimes the tone is not, hey, here's the play. It's this is the level of intensity you have to get to win this game. Denver didn't have it tonight. I saw a lot of people saying, why do I care in these clutch moments? I care so much more than they do. I do think that's a fair critique tonight. It just looked like the Nuggets were on their heels at the exact moment when everybody else was like, here it is, it's go time. And Denver was weirdly not elevated at all.
Yeah.
We got to go to break. That was a really long first segment. All right, we'll come back and rant some more. We're so angry we lost track of time.
That could happen. Shout out to our friends over at Bet365, an official partner of the Denver Nuggets. You can use the code DNVR365 when you sign up and bet. You can hit that QR code right there on the screen. Bet along with us on the pregame lounge every single game. Always something good to bet on at Bet365. No matter the sport, hockey, basketball, baseball season coming up. And anyone was betting on the Olympics, curious about that. Right now at Bet365, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets when you bet $5, win or lose. You can sign up, use the code DNVR365, deposit $10. Place a bet for $5 to get $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins or loses. Bonus bets can be used on the spread, on totals, on player props, futures, and more. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 21 plus, physically located in Colorado. Please gamble responsibly. If you or somebody knows a gambling problem and wants help, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. The Nuggets being bad in the clutch has, I think, messed up our bets too.
It has,
We don't
man.
know who this team is anymore,
We don't.
man. Use the code DNVR365 at Bet365 to sign up and get that offer.
Taco Bell is officially in the chicken game, and they have brought back their next level chicken nuggets. Don't worry, still a taco place, still pretty good at that. But yeah, they make chicken. The premium all-white meat chicken nuggets are marinated with bold Mexican spices and coated in a crunchy tortilla chip breading. and a Nuggets meal is not complete without a great dipping sauce. So Taco Bell has created a collab with the Hidden Valley to create its signature Diablo Ranch dipping sauce. This dipping sauce delivers the perfect combination of herb buttermilk ranch with a kick of spice to take these nuggets to the next level. Pick up a 5 or a 10 count of those nuggets today. Don't forget to add one of the new items from Taco Bell's Luxe Value Menu with 10 items for $3 or under. The Luxe Value Menu at Taco Bell delivers bold, irresistible flavor and crave-worthy items at unbeatable prices. Nobody delivers everyday value and supports your hometown teams like Taco Bell. Live Moss at Taco Bell.
Alrighty, we're back here, segment 2. We got to get into some players now and go through it. Let's start with a bright spot. Nikola Jokic put up another 30-20-10. Don't take it for granted. These games are so rare to put up 30-20-10s. He's now got 3 of them? 3 or 4? Like, it's insane that he does this. He almost did it in 3 quarters. Yeah. 35 points, 20 rebounds, 12 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks. What an insane stat line. And yet it feels wasted. It feels wasted. I saw some people saying Al Horford torched him tonight. I don't think the Al Horford piece of this is like, it's not a lot of like Jokic getting blown by Al Horford. It's pick and roll. Denver's executing their scheme, and then he's open, and Jokic will run out on him, or there'll be rotation. So I don't know that it was like I blame him for the defense tonight. I think there was a lack of adjustment, but it's hard to criticize Jokic on 34, 20, and 12, and I actually thought he was pretty brilliant tonight.
Yeah. I mean, outside of the clutch.
Yeah, he wasn't brilliant in the clutch.
He really wasn't, but he was, of course, really, really good and effective in this game. I mean, the Warriors went 5 out, obviously, and that was a huge part of them getting out to a huge lead and getting into such a big rhythm. So, yeah, to some extent, Al Horford did torch them tonight. Obviously, Jokic on the floor was a good thing for Denver. Big Val is struggling. I think it's been a rough few weeks for Jonas Valanciunas, who just, to me, in the very beginning of the season, it was like, yeah, if this guy's got a mismatch in the post, you just give him the ball and he's going to get a bucket. And right now, it doesn't feel like he's getting any roles. Feels like he's kind of misreading. Like, there was one possession where a guy fell over and Val didn't attack the basket or move the ball. He just waited and shot a fadeaway. He's got to be more effective, especially if you make that choice to play him, given what Golden State's trying to do beyond the perimeter. If he's going to be out there, he has to punish the mismatches. And right now, he's really not. So this is my lowest confidence point in Big Val of the season for sure.
It feels like Big Val should be does he have to be an every night player?
He shouldn't have played tonight, I don't think.
This is a 5-out team. You have a guy in Zeke that can guard that. I mean, I know he hasn't played for a little bit, but I do want... Big Val is there if you go 5 out because he's going to punish guys inside. He just hasn't done that in so long that part of me is like, I think what you give up is way more than what you should reasonably expect him to give.
It felt like earlier in the season, David Adelman was doing a really good job of mixing and matching lineups, different rotations, sometimes based on who the opponent was. It also feels like as Nuggets have dropped a lot of games right before the break, these couple post-break, he's now like more locking himself into the same kind of guys every night.
Yeah.
This was not a game for Big Val. And I'm with you. I think at this point in the season, as you ramp up towards the playoffs, there are some opponents that he just doesn't really fit against. The Warriors' 5-out offense, we knew it was probably something that was going to give the Nuggets a lot of fits if they hit some threes early. Surely they did. And it was just a really tough matchup for Big Val. I would have been cool with the Nuggets going way smaller and just, seeing what a different looked like against that 5-out offense. But yeah, he was not great today. I mean, was only, -5 in his minutes. I don't think it's the reason they lost, but certainly didn't help.
Big Val was horrible in this game. He just was, and it wasn't the matchup or game for him. But also, even with him playing, at least go to his strengths. I don't feel like they went to his strengths. Use him on the block. Use him
but he got some chances, though, man, and he would shoot that little fadeaway, or he just couldn't convert.
Which is not his strength. That's not what you need. You need him to power up and power through. And Adelman was being creative with how, some nights they called for certain players, or we're going to ride the hot man, and if they're not playing well, we're going to get them out of there quick, and they did not do that. And then to go back to Jokic, it's trifling that they wasn't able to win this game with what he did.
Man.
35, 20, and 12. That's just not right. Someone else had to step up and be there. I think that's where you miss a player like Aaron Gordon the most on the court.
For sure.
Not just because of what he brings on the court, but it's like the mindset that they have around him. In this game, you just talked about people are saying that Al Horford torched them. You know who would have made sure that Al Horford wouldn't even been in that discussion? Aaron Gordon, because that's how you make up for Jokic. I feel like in this game you saw switches. Like you see a guy go and try to defend that 3-point shot. They're doing so many shifts to try to not have him on the perimeter. But he's like slower right now, and also he's trying to get back to defend or to grab the rebound to start the break. No one else is overplaying in the same ways that I feel like Aaron Gordon is going to sacrifice for him. I think that's what they're missing the most right now with not having Aaron Gordon. Is a guy that he knows his role. He's sticking to that role. He's not trying to get creative. I'm going to go all out for 15.
Well, he'd also make them a tougher team, and the Nuggets are just not a tough team right now, man.
Tough and soul. He brings some soul. Like the Nuggets, it was a soulless clutch time tonight.
Absolutely.
Toughness and soul. We'll go to Jamal Murray tonight. I actually was really bothered by his game. 21 points, 5 turnovers, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal. He had a very great run at the moment. I gave him credit for it. The Nuggets needed someone to step up.
Second quarter,
and it was him. And I really think that the game could have gotten out of control if it weren't for that. And he had a look at his eye that you could tell he knew the moment. It's like, I got to settle everybody down. That's maturity. That's leadership. What he did in the fourth quarter, though, was the opposite of that. It was such a bad close from him. And the thing that was frustrating most is it was a bad close. If you have a bad close because you're aggressive and you're attacking and, tried to make a big play and it didn't work out, that's one thing. When you're getting turnovers because you're, like, trying to do a little, like, lazy pass to Jokic in the pocket or something, it's like, bro, the Warriors just understood the assignment tonight. Their role players came out, played with confidence, got the ball popping. And when the fourth quarter came, they're like, all right, they're the better team, so we have to just go crazy with intensity. And Denver obliged them by saying, oh, we'll let you guys be that. We're going to just play this. And I thought Murray was sort of the poster child of that.
Yeah. I think Murray, in the losses this season, like Murray's had such a great year, but his down games, they all kind of have some of the same stuff in there, like a little nonchalance, some laziness. Particularly, I'm talking about the turnovers. 5 turnovers is where I would start for sure.
How many of those were in the fourth? At least 2 of them, maybe more.
Let's take a look. But yeah, to me, I feel like sometimes when they get up big, he kind of will try to do something for style points or just maybe a little too nonchalant or too lazy, not protecting the ball the way he should. So I felt like that was part of the issue. Also, in that Clippers game, I actually thought Jamal did a really good job in the other areas. I thought he played defense. I thought he really competed on the glass. Yeah. And I just thought there were a couple of possessions tonight where he wasn't doing that at all. So it was a pretty underwhelming performance from him. I mean, the points are there, but ultimately, I didn't think this was a very good Jamal game. Jamal,
he needs a game off, and he should not have played in this game. And it's easy to say in hindsight, but we were saying that beforehand. This would have been an opportunity for him to rest because that's the performance that you're giving is not enough anyway. Also, coming into this game, his hamstring, ended up being a new issue as well. Why not get that right in this type of game? Keep guys fresh, keep the team fresh, and just try to give them an opportunity because he didn't have it. I feel like there was effort, defensively where he was trying, but also there's like the not boxing out. There's the not taking shots when you're definitely supposed to take shots. Wasn't efficient, and also he's not running the offense right now. It's just kind of ISO shooting. He's just shooting the ball a lot right now instead of being aggressive. So it's not even the same 2-man that you're used to, and we haven't seen that 2-man in a while. So I hope that they find ways to get him some rest, especially on nights like this where you really didn't have it, you didn't need him. He's not playing well.
As much as I kind of agree with that, and the hamstring thing, certainly, if that's what you're talking about, is we don't want that to become an injury, and if it's going to affect your level of intensity, then just take the time off anyway. But I also love what Yoke said after the game yesterday. He's classic Thomas Shelby line. There's no rest for me in this world. I honestly think it's a joke, but it's also an important mentality. The NBA is unforgiving. You kind of have to accept that it's going to be hard every single night. Jamal Murray carried him so much when Yoke was out, but he has had just a different level of intensity. It's almost like, I did the work now. Right. Now I can go back down to being a little bit less than that. When I think Yoke learned at some point, I have to give my best performance every single night. It's like, yeah, that's what the price of greatness. Jamal, I just wasn't great tonight, other than, to your point, some defensive things I thought he did early on, and that second quarter was great, but certainly not in the second half.
For sure. I mean, he did score 21 points, but it was 9 of 17 shooting, decent percentage there. A lot of his buckets were just like of the ISO variety. He got a bunch in the second quarter going into the post. And yeah, I wonder if, a reason for some of the lackadaisical passing and just the inability to really attack in the fourth quarter was the hamstring.
Could be. He wore down.
I mean, there were a lot of moments where, they run the two-man game, they just double the ball, and Murray's just dead at that point. So
I think, it's a good point and maybe a reason for a cause for concern, because we said this about Yoke. Some hamstring injuries, right away you get out and you're just like, it's tight, it hurts. Some of them are, you play a half and you put some strain on it and it starts to get sore over time, and then it's really sore at the end. It honestly makes sense because that's how he played tonight. Like he played that fourth quarter like his hamstring hurt. Let's take another break. On the other side, a lot of other guys to get through, including Cam Johnson. Julian Strawther finally had a dud, and we'll get to a couple other guys.
Shout out to our friends over at Red Hawk Roofing, Denver's best roofers. They're on our team. They're on the DNVR team. They're clutch. You have a roof issue, you need some repairs done, they'll get there. They'll be really good when the pressure's on. There's no project too small for these guys. They're your go-to for everything from minor repairs to full roof replacements on your home or business. Long-lasting relationships matter to Red Hawk Roofing. So they're going to really take care of you like your family. They're not going to try to get one over on you on a big job like doing your roof. So if you have any roofing needs, home, business, big project, small project, Red Hawk Roofing, they're your guys. 720-771-8921, redhawkroofing.com. Free no obligation roof and property inspection, free in-depth photo report for all inspections. You can't always see how bad the damage to your roof is from the ground. So give Red Hawk Roofing a call, 720-771-8921. Let them get up there, tell you exactly what's going on. So all projects, big or small, home, business, roofing, whatever it might be, redhawkroofing.com.
Shopify is the e-commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world and 10% of all e-commerce in the US, including some of ours. Shopify powers the DNVR merch store, baby. Some of you may have heard on the broadcast today, Doris Burke shouting out the Not Since Wilt shirt, a D-Line classic. There are tons of D-Line classics up on the merch store right now. And do we still have that 30% sale going? We do, right?
Yes, we do.
We do. So a good time to head on over there and check it out. But just know when you use that merch store that it's powered by Shopify, which helps you take your dreams, your business ideas, your just that thing you want to bring to life and do just that. They've got you covered with website creation, product descriptions, email and social media marketing, and more. They also have AI tools designed to help you maximize sales. If you're ready to sell, you're ready for Shopify. Turn your big business idea into with Shopify on your side. Sign up for your $1 per month trial. Start selling today at shopify.com/allcity. That's shopify.com/allcity.
Feels like a rerun, man. What a bummer. A rerun here. Another guy kind of positive, Christian Braun tonight had 18 points, 7-11 shooting. He was actually a +1 in this game. 5 rebounds, 2 assists, did have 3 turnovers and 2 steals. He, at least in that first quarter, because I don't think he had 12 in the first quarter.
Yeah.
So maybe it was really just a good first quarter, not a good game, but at least we saw some of those old CB things, including finishing in transition.
The finishes at the rim were, in transition, were the best.
Can we talk about
part of the
CB's
game.
signature layup?
The over
The windmill layup?
What would you call that?
I call it the windmill.
We were missing that for so long. He was missing those shots. He also had the probably got fouled layup that was a tough one that still went in, and you need that. He only knocked down 1 3-pointer, but that was a 3-pointer they needed, and he did not turn down like the open looks in this game.
At the end, though, that turnover that he had one where he turned it over, I believe, on a record scratch play where it kind of went to him, and it would have been tough, and you could tell he froze up a little.
Yeah, but also, Jokic should have shot that.
Yeah. Oh, that's what it was. It was Jokic should have shot it. Gave it to CB.
So
it
put him in a weird spot. Of
You're
like,
right.
do I take this or do I not take this? Especially when we've been pushing that same button the whole time. So I mean that's going to come with time, but he's looking more back, and that's what you need from him. His confidence is high. He's scoring the basketball, and now he's starting to help in other areas. He had the 5 rebounds, 2 assists, a little bit of handling the ball more, and that's good. So this was a step in the right direction. He was also the highest plus minus in the game, and this is not the first time that's happened. That's a positive.
Yeah.
CB, it was good to see him and Yoke have that chemistry in the first half. You know, we got a couple of those vintage, just read and react, backdoor cuts, some really nice give and goes between them two. That was awesome. His defense, though, like, when is this guy going to level up to be an all-NBA type of defender? Or is that even going to happen? He got burned a lot defensively.
Bro, who was it he got burned by? D'Anthony Melton on one today.
Just
we were like,
like-
bro, that's like a 40th, 30th percentile cover.
Not containing guys one-on-one off the dribble, getting burned backdoor.
Yeah.
I feel like, I mean, me personally, I'll speak for myself. I've, been expecting, him to level up defensively year over year, and it just hasn't really happened yet. And look, I know this season has been a weird one for him with the injury, but he's got to be a better defender than this. He just has to be.
Anything to add on CB? You want the next one? I know you might want the next one.
Sure. We'll move on.
He had a great point about Cameron Johnson not having a moment, having his moment, which we're kind of deep enough into the season for it to just feel like a moment would happen. I think the 2 threes at the end, there was 1 minute to go and they're down 9. He hits those, it cut us to 6. You still have a chance. You still have life. So it's not that I'm pissed about those ones, but I am pissed that it's just a lot of these games, 9 points, 1 of 7 shooting, had a lot of good looks.
I feel as if when this team's really healthy, he fits in really well. It's better for the roster balance, and especially because they were able to add a backup center, although he didn't play well. Like, when everything's just right, I love the way Cam fits into this. As far as him elevating to kind of save the day or turn things around, we just haven't seen much, if at all, of it, really. And so still waiting for him to have a really big moment. Didn't come today. He had a tough performance. He was good in the last couple of games, so I'm not sitting here trying to say that he's been awful or anything like that. You're just still waiting for that moment where they're looking around, something needs to happen. Can this guy step up and make a play and have a moment? And just haven't been a lot of them this year, really.
Tonight would have been a good night for a Cam Johnson game.
Well, he's also a guy who I'm not exactly 100% confident in the clutch.
Yeah.
He kind of has a little energy of, I don't know if I really want it right now.
Yeah.
And again, he looks great when the Nuggets are firing on all cylinders,
Right.
when they're in rhythm, when everything is connected and everybody's playing on a string. But when the team is a little fragmented, he's a guy that, like, do I have a lot of confidence in you right now in a big moment? I don't know.
Yeah. I don't think he's ever going to win you the game.
Yeah.
I think that's what's scary to have is there are guys that get hot, they get scorching hot, and they could win you a game. Or like, hey, let's go on his back. He doesn't seem like a get on his back type of game, and he was very bad in this game. 1 of 7 from the field. His points came from the free throw line.
Yeah.
It was not him knocking down shots, which he does not consistently hit the 3-point shot, which you need. He doesn't have like a signature, like, let's get to this mid-range pull-up, or let's get downhill and try to attack the basket, or a fadeaway. He doesn't have any of that. It's just kind of like, I have to be in the right place at the right time, which is the IQ thing that everyone is calling for. But it's not just, I'm going to go get a bucket because I need one. And that it sucks to not have that at times. Like, that should at least be in your arsenal.
Yeah.
So, like Vogt said first, he is great when things are great. But when they're not, you want a guy that can win you a game. He doesn't have that.
He's that line in Ocean's 11 where she's like, does he make you laugh? He doesn't make me cry. That's kind of Cam Johnson. Doesn't really make us laugh. Doesn't always make us cry, though. So I guess
think that's so good. God, that is good.
Julian Strawther had a rough game. I'll forgive him this one.
Sure.
Except for one thing that I'll just put on the radar. 6 points, 2 of 7 shooting, didn't quite have it. He's had enough good games that a player of his caliber, even if we say he's leveled up, is still, guys have bad games. Tim Hardaway has bad games. Bruce has bad games. So it's fair. The one thing I question with Julian, though, is this was a technical game. You had to guard on the perimeter because guys was beating everybody off the dribble. We know he struggles at that. And then you had to read rotations, and he had a handful just off of first watch. Usually you catch blown assignments on the backside on second watch. But even in this game, I caught a couple of them where you're like, yep, that was Julian's rotation. He just didn't get it. And that's what scares me about Julian is in a playoffs, it's all about that. That's all it's about. And he was pretty lost today against a team where the ball was popping.
I thought it was his worst defensive game in a while. I mean, he's prone to these lapses, but I thought he competed much better on that end of late. And I've been really impressed by him in the last, what are we calling it, 8-9 games. You know, I thought he's really helped this team. He's played hard. He's worked hard to mitigate his weaknesses. Tonight, it just wasn't there. I mean, from not having it offensively to helping off of Moody in the corner to go contest Horford. Now, admittedly, Horford had a great night, but just above the break, it was just like, yeah, you don't want Moody to take that shot in the corner, man. So you just feel like Strawther's kind of in any kind of matchup like this where you got to make a bunch of live decisions stacked to get on top of each other on defense. You see the lapses. Unfortunately, I also think Tim Hardaway Jr. struggles at that stuff. And I think that would make it a lot easier to just go, well, that should be Tim. But Tim will also mess those switches up.
Yeah.
Julian Strawther, I mean, he was bad in this game. But also, we talk about those reminder type of games. This was also a reminder game for
the opposite direction.
In the opposite direction, because there's no denying that he has, made that jump. He has improved. But then there's always those like, well, why wasn't he playing in the first place? This type of performance is why he wasn't playing, and he was pulled. He was benched in this game, alongside the starters, because in a game that matters, or like the technical parts of it, where you have to be locked in, where you're not gonna stand out in the wrong ways. That's when Strawther is the worst, because they are targeting him. He got targeted in this game. They did a lot of backdoor cuts, and he's just so like wanting to just read and react type of player that no, you have to remember that this guy's going to backdoor you. They're going to give you different looks, and you have to react to that. And he was not good in that regard. On top of not knocking down his shots or being aggressive in that way. So these are the type of games that you want him to build off of. But also, I think that it's like, okay, this is exactly why he's not all the way into rotation.
Can I ask you something, guys? A question. What's up with Spencer Jones right now? Why isn't he playing?
Let me give it. I was gonna go here.
Okay. 16 minutes against the Clippers.
Yeah.
Played a bunch against the Blazers, but that was garbage time.
I have a reason for this.
He played 13 minutes today.
And he was a -12. And he was a -12, not an impact player. And I'll tell you, here's the pickle the Nuggets are in a little bit. And I think they're just going to have to bite the bullet and say, F the stupid qualifying offer situation. I think they're going to have to. Spencer Jones is in a weird spot in that he is a Jokic player. His minutes have to be with Jokic because he's going to defend and he doesn't need anything, and he'll be in the right spot, knock down the corner three. When Jokic's not on the court, he's kind of much more useless. He's not nearly as useful. And now you have to kind of balance for him and everything else. And unfortunately, right now, Denver has this stupid thing to consider, which I don't know that Denver's going to consider it too hard. But they might just need to play him and start him.
What is it they need to consider for people
because
that are
if he plays the 7 games,
starts
seven more games, then he qualifies for a higher number. But here's the ironic thing, man. Spencer, by virtue of needing to start just so that he can have value, means he's less valuable, but would actually make him more paid. You know what I mean? Like, it's in a weird thing where Denver's going to inflate his value just because he can't play without Jokic. I think it's a real conundrum, but until Aaron Gordon comes back, I actually think it might be a sacrifice Denver has to make. He's not valuable without Jokic. Not nearly as valuable.
No, I am with the general point we're kind of dancing around here, though, that it really, really stinks that a team that is allegedly all in on getting this next title can't start this guy without Aaron Gordon or Peyton Watson because they don't want to pay this money. I understand that you don't want to go into the tax to give Spencer Jones a starter's criteria qualifying offer. I get that.
Do you want to stay out of the play-in?
But here's a question. Though. Here's a serious question for you, because it's only been 3 games, and to be honest, I wasn't clamoring for him to start right now. I thought they had enough guys, but I do think after 3 games, I'm there to go like.
But what if Aaron Gordon's back next game though? That changes things.
It does. But honestly, were you clamoring for him to start over Julian Strawther? Strawther was really good until today.
Strawther had been. That's a good point. That's a good point. It felt like today could have been a game where I would have liked to see Spencer starting, especially for the defensive. But
I'm fine with him not starting.
Maybe that's easy to say in hindsight.
I think I'm okay with him not starting. I just think they should play him more. Like. He's a really important part of this team. He's a great defender. I know he didn't have a good plus-minus today, but just looking at his minutes in these 2 losses post-All-Star break, it's just kind of weird that he hasn't played more, I feel like, with how bad the defense has been.
Well, you think about it. If he doesn't start, that means there's 6 minutes in the first half and second half he's not going to play with Jokic. See your first sub? Probably not. So now you're talking about that. I think that's why it's so few. And by the way, I think we'll run into this with Julian. You take Julian out of the say your AG's not back Wednesday. You take Julian out of the starting, put Spencer in there. I'll bet you Spencer plays really well. I'll bet Julian doesn't.
Well, I mean, yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah, but like we called for Adelman, there are matchups, there are situations, and I feel like his is even more of like an adjustment in the game that if you're just giving up so many points, we got to put Spencer Jones in. Like, I feel like that should be it. Hey, this is a fast-paced team that's scoring a bit too much. Go and put in the sledgehammer so he could slow things down. Because right now, if you're going off of, the same analysis, which it makes sense because you just want the same guys in and whatnot. But, I mean, Julian Strawther in this game, he was not playing. So now you go to a Bruce Brown I feel like there's a defensive guy that you have on the team that you could put alongside other defensive guys and it could slow you down.
The only thing I'll say, though, tonight, he had the worst defensive rating on the team. I know in 13 minutes I can get wonky, but tonight I don't think he was guarding either. It is tricky. All I'm saying is I wasn't having this thought 2 games ago. And so, but I am having it now, which to me it's more about, okay, going forward. It wasn't something I was watching going, oh, this is what they were missing or this is what they need. But I do think now at this point I'm like, they need somebody to defend. They need some bodies out there.
I actually don't know if it's worth giving him the starter criteria though.
Why?
Because then you're effed if he takes the qualifying offer. It's gonna be 1 year for $8 million.
I love Spencer Jones. I just don't think you make decisions based on losing Spencer Jones. I love him. It would clearly be better if you got him.
You don't extend him the qualifying offer then? He just walks?
What do you mean?
Like, you have to give him the qualifying offer to make him restricted, but then he could just take it for a 1 year deal.
1 year deal, yeah. And then
you're paying him $8 million next year.
Yeah, don't start him, but play him as if he's a starter.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Though that'd be the shiestiest thing Denver could do. Just start the game and sub him in a minute in.
No, you do that. Like, hey, this game is calling for that. Also, he understands what that is. Like,
he would understand exactly what it is.
But he also
say you're screwing me out of money.
He can't play himself out of that. He has to contribute while he's out there. The game is the game.
The last guy here is Bruce Brown for me. He was a minus 17. I think this was more about he was on the floor in the end when they got killed. I actually thought he had a good game tonight.
He did have a good game until the clutch time.
Until the very clutch time.
He did miss that layup in clutch time.
Oh, my God, you're right.
Right after I tweeted about how he's finally making
that's a layup Aaron Gordon would have turned into a reverse oop.
Now, ultimately, don't think it changes much, and I think Bruce helped way more than he hurt tonight.
He was good tonight.
That's a tough minus 17 in my opinion. The 3 steals, he was trying. He was trying to make an impact defensively. He's so rarely one of the culprits when we talk about defensive effort, and I really appreciate that about him. 2 of 3 from deep, is getting to the rim again, hitting his layups again. I think he's become a very useful player again.
Yeah.
Used to talk about Bruce as a utility guy. That's how I see him once again. There are still holes in his game, and he did not have a great crunch time, but ultimately, this game to me is the larger picture for Bruce is that he's trending in the right direction, getting better.
Yeah, it was. You can't argue about his effort. He did play hard the entire time on both ends of the floor. It is shocking that he was a minus 17.
Well, there was a 20-2 run, I think, at one point.
That
if you're
he
on
was
the
in
court
there.
for that, you're just
The craziest part is it came with the starters.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
he did continue to he built the lead or at least got them into it when he was with the bench unit. By knocking down shots. He was very aggressive in this one. Knocked down 2 of 3. He went 2 of 3 from beyond the arc. Got some steals, got out in transition and dunked the ball. But then he was in with the starter group who was very badly missing a power forward at that time too. Because now it's mismatches all over, that's not on a Bruce Brown. He was bringing it, he brought the effort, but you don't close with that. Unless you just make some type of transitions. That's why it was shocking that Spencer Jones was in. That's why it's shocking that Zeke Naji did not play much in this game. So this is not on Bruce Brown.
I see there's a comment here, I want you to bring up, Kale, from Jay Walrus. It looks like, I hope AG doesn't see the struggles. You just passed that. I hope AG doesn't see these struggles and rush things. Take your time, AG. This is a big fear of mine, man. The Nuggets are in a skid. AG has done this in the past. I mean, AG really loves his team, man. It's one of the things we love about him. He really feels responsible for the team, and I think likely feels bad when he can't contribute. It hurts him.
Yeah.
And the Nuggets really need him right now. But if you're not healthy, you just can't force it. And I do. It's one of the fears I have is that AG is going to watch this and say, you know what? They need exactly what I provide. P. Watt's too far away. I got to go out there and limp around to kind of help the Nuggets right now.
This has happened a bunch.
It has.
Mike did it a lot during his Denver tenure. Guys would go out and Mike would play through stuff he probably shouldn't play. Christian Braun has said on the record this year that he came back a bit too early because he was inspired by how everyone was playing really hard. He wanted to be a part of it. I know we can put Aaron Gordon in that category as well. So yeah, I mean, this is where it becomes. I mean, the coaching staff and the medical staff, I think, have to find some way to be able to influence these guys, not to rush things, but it also just does become on the players as well. I think they have to find a way to take the longer view. I appreciate that mentality. It's actually admirable, right? That in a vacuum, that sounds great. But right now, this group, no one needs to be rushing back, especially.
Man, you're a Nuggets fan. I understand why you've lost faith. I haven't. I just hate that we have to go through this. And to be honest with you, the Nuggets now, by the time they play again on when do they play again? Wednesday. By the time they play again on Wednesday, they could very well be the 6th seed.
How many negatives? 32 negatives. I'm going to guess we have 20.
Game Shine, another 1:30 p.m. game, another loss.
Negative.
Someone who has a very specific type of brain needs to go figure out what the Nuggets record is in 1:30 starts. Because I don't even know how to begin to do that work, but I bet it's a jarring number. RPOP 43, win or lose, appreciate the coverage.
Positive.
Win or lose, we appreciate you guys tuning in, for sure. Ghostly Gengar, you never bet on Nugget matinee games. They'll always let you down. Unfortunately, this is true, guys. No matter who they're playing and who's out, next time it's a 1:30 game, we just have to.
You can't bet on the Nuggets on long rest or at matinee or when they come home from a long road
or
trip,
at home,
or at home in general. We all know this, man. You can't do it. Or if they're playing the worst team in the league, you just can't bet on it.
How have they won so many games?
I don't get it.
AW 11-3-4-8. Overreaction, but it's hard to see this team contending right now. You can count the number of good wins this season on one hand with fingers to spare.
Negative.
Big Honey 15, trying not to panic about the clutch numbers, but this game has broken me. Also, I miss Aaron Gordon and P-Watt. Our defense needs serious improvement.
Certainly
Just
does.
facts on that one.
Tim Hardaway Truther, they've showed their contenders. They've showed their first round exits. Right,
Yep, I agree.
right now, they're the latter. I'm running out of hope.
Totally, man. I
Don't
mean,
run out of hope, though.
you watched the Nuggets over the last couple weeks. It would not be surprising if they lost in the first round.
Well, the first round, you're going to be against a team that is really good, so it's unfortunately possible.
Straight flick, y'all laughed at me a month ago suggesting it, but now you have to accept the Nuggets are potentially ending up in the play-in by the start of March. They've learned nothing. On to yet another loss.
I still don't think they're going to be in the play-in, though. I think that there's a chance they're a 4 or possibly even a 5 seed, but 7 seed seems so... I mean, by the way, Phoenix just lost Dylan Brooks.
There is a clear drop-off from 6 to 7 right now.
Yeah, yeah, like the Warriors.
Warriors are in that shitty playing group.
Not everybody sucks against bad teams, just us.
Yvonne MBG 6212. This team is project bullshit.
Yeah, they are.
They would make me look like a prime Curry because they would allow so many open threes. They don't know how to close out.
There's so many open threes in that first half, man.
Christoph had to kick myself in the nuts just to feel better.
That's negative.
That made you feel better.
Vladislav, hope you miss perimeter defense is not defense. If random players keep having historic performances against you, it's a you problem. Nuggets look lost.
Who had
They
a
do look
historic
lost.
performance today?
Pajemski did not. He had a triple double, didn't
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
He had like-
Moses Moody.
I
he?
think
No, he only had 9 assists. He had a Sombor double.
Look up Pajemski's fourth quarter, though, if you can
Yeah.
find just those numbers.
I think Bajemski's pretty good. Not this good, though.
Also, not this year. He's kind of
Yeah.
sucked.
Yeah, I didn't think he was very good.
This is probably his best game of the
Until
year.
that fourth quarter. Jackson Y, 1986. This team really has no pride at all. Just look at how the Spurs, Detroit, OKC came out
Oh,
of the
this is
All-Star
true.
break.
This is true.
This is not the time to make excuses / lie to ourselves.
Well, here's one thing I'll say. But
OKC
again,
came out of the All-Star break and started resting everybody and kept
and
winning.
still winning. I will say that is one thing, though, man. When I do watch, and he named great teams for this, San Antonio, Detroit, they do have this sense of pride, man, that I wonder how connected the Nuggets are right now, because those teams come out with this idea of like, man, this is who we are. We're gonna be the toughest team, this or that. And Denver doesn't have. I thought they would have this energy. They haven't had it yet out the break. They need to find it.
Yvonne MBG 62-12 from the best clutch team to choke team. Adelman is not head coach material. Sorry. Defense is mostly about effort and will. This team is gutless.
That was definitely negative.
Negative.
Jackson, why this is not a clutch issue? They just don't fight. No,
A lot of this takes tonight about the fight and the team.
the fight I agree with. It is definitely still a clutch
Yeah,
issue.
it's both.
15 of their 22 losses this year are in clutch games. Crazy Abe, ugly loss, but don't panic. It's a typical 130 game.
Positive.
Yeah, hey,
Unfortunately, it is a typical 130 game. Nug Dug, the lack of urgency has been brewing for the last 3 seasons. Showed up in the Game 7 collapse to T-Wolves, blew Jokic 60-point game last year, and showed games 4 and 5 to OKC, and now this year, all season long.
I can't say you're wrong.
but negative.
Nash,
Very negative.
Nash,
But maybe
Sweden.
you're right.
Forget Blazers W. We suck big time. Fire David Adelman.
Definitely negative.
AD. Fire AD.
Fire AD, excuse me.
Fire- who's
Fire
AD?
the athletic director. Yvonne MBG 6212. This team would make Ben Simmons shooting threes like Curry. If Houston, Lakers, and Minnesota weren't also up and down, Denver would be the 6-7 seed. They need players only meeting.
I wonder what Yvonne's Colfax mode equivalent is.
Yeah. Harlan Thatter. What the hell happened to this team? They have no heart. Went to the game, and I'm going to go tenderloin mode. That's San Francisco's call.
Tenderloin mode, man. That sounds rough.
That one I can picture. Smug Nug, guys, it's okay. If they don't care, why should we? Can't care more about PB&J's legacy than them. It's delusional to think Aaron Gordon and Piwat fixed this. We got -7D.
We got -7.
We got -7. Thank you. Yvonne MBG 6212. You are what you repeatedly do, so I don't believe in magical turnaround OKC type defense in the playoffs. They look like a first round exit team. Kyle M20 putting this one on Harrison Wind. Hey Wind.
Kyle, bro.
Hey, no, you.
That's a great bit, man.
Did
Congrats.
I do something to you, man?
It's a great bit.
What did I do to you, Kyle?
William Mitchell, our resident Warriors fan. Getting walked down by the Kirkland brand Coke Bear pods is enough for me to say that was Denver's worst loss of the season. What happened to Shame? He's usually the one who goes, you guys, it's not as bad as you think. Your team's really good. Today he goes, no, that's pretty bad. You can't let pods do that to you. Game Shine, downer, but objectively, this team won't get past the first round. This team should be dominant, and other than the bench, the coaching staff may be the problem.
Objectively.
Was that positive?
That was a negative.
Negative.
Yeah.
Nash Sweden, imagine if Malone had this roster. AD is so weak, guy.
I love that he's become AD.
I know.
I think it's just him.
I know, but I love it.
No, it's two
Can't
people
even
now.
put his.
Adelman, David.
We got to go to overtime here.
Yeah,
We're
join
gonna
it.
finish
If you're
up
not
on
watching us
overtime.
on the internet, watch us on the internet. If you are watching us on the internet,
Stay put.
You're still watching us on the internet. Nugget Ball 94. How much do the defense struggles fall on Dudley? Yeah, sure.
I mean, it's got to be some amount. You know, it's always tough to tell, but something about the defense is not connecting. The message is not being delivered, it seems like.
No doubt about it. Casey Rooney, 5279, disappointing loss, but have to shout out my boyfriend, Cole Hemstreet, on his birthday today.
Happy
Shout out,
birthday, Cole.
Happy birthday.
That's love right there.
Not the birthday
Little
shout
super
out.
chat.
My wife definitely wouldn't do that.
He also was like, probably would have hit so much better after beating the Warriors
So
at
true.
1:30 on a
Did you catch
Sunday.
out my gift for you on the losers
You're
line?
like, no, I actually skipped the show. You watched it?
Now I
You
have
watched
to, do I have to watch the whole thing, or can I just go to the end?
You actually have to go to overtime.
$20 from Maddox Otter. Here's $20 because I appreciate you, fellas.
Man,
Thank you,
If they're
man.
this
a real
reliant
one.
on Aaron Gordon being available, they were never winning. No more silver linings. This last 3 years now has just been that. This toxic relationship is too much for me.
Oh
hey,
my-
don't leave. Don't leave. I'm telling you, you'll regret it.
Yeah, just like a toxic relationship, we're not going to let you leave.
Yeah.
AW11348. Is Aaron the fix? Deepest roster looking shallow. This was a winnable game with stakes, and they didn't want to play together. Playoffs, here we come. Yvonne, MBG 6212. Right now, we are not contenders. We are pretenders.
Yvonne is-
Right now, we are
Yvonne is
pretenders.
face
Right
down
now.
on Colfax.
Right now, they're not even pretending. MLB last 40. ML blast 40. Can we try something different in clutch time? Spence at 4 and Cam at 3 for more size. Stagger Jamal different in the second half. It's a horror movie on repeat.
That is a thing happening in the clutch. There is a lack of size out there. You know, no real power forward that's in the rotation right now.
Yes. Yeah.
You're feeling that, you know, especially when it's Bruce and the dunker who's 6'4".
Yeah.
5 ish. Copium afternoon games are dumb. 429 bench 3-pointers down. Only 126 till 5. Can AG fix the clutch problems, or has the league figured the Nuggets out?
I think he can fix a lot of things. Is he going to fix everything? No, but fix a lot.
Yvonne MBG 6212, just letting it rip tonight. We look like a prime Mike D'Antoni teams, all offense, zero defense. This team needs a coach similar Malone Udoka, who is not shy to call out of his team. Not the most Udoka high Q score moment
Yeah.
to throw the suggestion out there.
But, you know, who are
I
we
mean, when
to look down on
you're
anyone?
going Colfax mode, we really can't hold Yvonne to what he's saying.
Yeah, quit judging guys when they're Colfax mode, dude.
True, man. This is true. I mean, when I've been Colfax mode, I've hoped no one was judging me.
Yeah, that's
That's how
exactly
you
it. It's a
idiot
judgment-free
times.
zone when you go Colfax mode, man. 2 out of 32. You can
Jokic, Jesus, that's the kind of day we're having. Jokic kicks it out for 3 for a game winner. Who do you trust more, Watson or Cam?
Well, Watson's 0 for 1 in that situation. But maybe
Cam
Got that situation.
not a true game winner.
Those ones tonight did suck because he should have made them, but they would have cut the game to 6.
And he's been missing those pretty often. I'll go Peyton.
He certainly doesn't look like he's about to hit him.
I might go Pete.
Last thing, are we outro music already, Cal? Last thing, tomorrow night, if you guys want to come down, we're having a Q&A and a panel discussion with some Denver Nuggets legends. And when I say legends, go all the way back to the ABA. Ralph Simpson, who's one of the 20 best Nuggets of all time, I would say. 3-time All-Star with the Denver Nuggets. He's going to be in the building. We'll have Chuck Williams. We'll have Grant Simmons. We're talking about the ABA. We're going to watch Soul Power, George Karl's new documentary on the ABA, and then we're going to talk about the formation of the Nuggets. Watch that, by the way. Episode 4 has a lot of stuff in the Nuggets there. They say some really cool stuff about what it was like to play in Denver. This city was crazy about the Nuggets when the Nuggets first came to the ABA. And I always think about this and what people think about Basketball Town or what have you. I have a feeling we're going to talk to those guys tomorrow night, and they're going to talk about, oh man, this city loved us.
Nice.
It's really, really cool. So I can't wait for it. Be here. RSVP online. Hit the like button on the way out.
We all silly like the mayor.